Happy Thursday. I'm gonna try to log it into TikTok. Just give me 1 second here. Sometime I need to do it twice. Um, well, happy Thursday. Thank you so much for joining today's live, multi-stream, multi-device live, YouTube and TikTok, Facebook and LinkedIn. Still um, was not able to figure out um, you know doing this live via Instagram. Archita, yes, good evening. So how are you holding up? Just for me, as an immigration attorney, every day it just it's like super hectic, just nonstop work. Well, today we're gonna talk about K1 and Consular visa cases, but I'm gonna start with the comments that for those of you who are going through adjustment of the status, it means the green card application. You're here in the U.S. It can be with a spouse or parents or young children. Then you probably know that Monday, right? New 485 and 864 editions are required. Thank you so much for joining from TikTok and YouTube. I spent quite some time today, Thursday, to get cases ready, so then they could be delivered to proper application support center, many of them to Chicago but one to Arizona. So the last day that new this 45864, not the new edition, could be delivered and accepted by the USCIS would be this Saturday. So if your package delivered to them Monday with this previous edition of 45 and 864, they will be rejected. They will be rejected. So just be careful. Um, Archida is still waiting for 129F approval. We didn't see any major delays with all kinds of cases. So I know you submitted in November, you're waiting, but December, January, 2 months. So just maybe you need to a little bit wait, and then hope that when you show up next time, next Thursday, you're gonna say that my 129F was approved. So when you see that I look at the TikTok screen, I get a lot more questions from TikTok. So I scroll down the messages. So I'm gonna start reading this. So today, yeah. So then I think that is Nathan. I sent my package AOS yesterday with the new form. Is that fine? Of course, yes. Then you may submit any time with a new form. But for those of you who are trying to file your case with a previous edition, you must mail out today to be make sure, because let's be honest, right? Unless you use FedEx and then UPS, if you use USPS prior to mail, then sometimes they don't deliver on time. Just nowadays, it's very unreliable. But Nathan, you send your package with a newer edition, so you should be okay. You can do it anytime. Just give me 1 second here. So Sharma is a AUS, adjustment of the status, but I'll answer as much I can, whether it's a fiancé visa or AUS cases. Okay. Okay. So then Sharma, like you had a marriage green card case, and then you had an interview 18 months ago. So was the interview 18 months ago, or was the time that you submitted was 18 months ago, and then they're reviewing your case? I just wonder whether you have a pending asylum case, because that's usually the case, or sometimes if you don't live together or they don't believe that you live together, then they I don't want to say this, but they do extra background check. So hope that they approve your case now. Okay, so then Marshall, another AOS case inquiry, humanitarian visa one. So um, so then Marshall has advanced parole based on VAWA, and then went overseas 4 times according to him or her, and then no issue. Now and then Marsha would like to go to Pakistan. Now there's a warning by the CBP, right, who handles U.S. entry and departure, say that you need to use a discretion when you go overseas with advanced parole. So you need to be careful. I just tell this all the time, right? You need to be careful when you go overseas, especially if you overstay your visa, right? And then also, I hate to say this, but if you go to Texas, right, certain southern states, sharing the border with Mexico, you need to be careful too. So it's not a good time to go to southern states and then go overseas now. Just you wait and see. By the way, I'm telling many times that right now the Trump's administration is gearing up for working on mass deportation, aka mass deportation. So what does it mean? It means the legal process like marriage green card case, K1 spouse visa, we're not seeing any major changes in terms of how they review cases. So obviously the case is approved now, except K1. I mean, even K1, right? Submitted. Yeah, submitted under Biden. So, I wouldn't say it is 100% on the Trumpian review process, but still, even though the Biden's administration review some part of your case, but still, it is, Trump's USCIS and different government agencies to have a final say. Let me drink the water. Okay. Yes, Pedra, our client. Thank you so much for joining. Once you submit your case to USCIS or any other agency, unless it's long pending, right? Usually like a more than 1 year, there is no way to expedite. But cases go faster, still. So that's the case. Obviously it was even faster in 2024, but still it's reasonable. So unfortunately, expedition is not easy. I know that there's many different reasons why you like to expedite, but once you submit, it's difficult. And then one of you, right, mentioned that 18-month pending after interview. That's even more difficult. When your case is pending after interview, it's very difficult to sort of expedite it, quote unquote. You may try congressional assistance and all this. It's kind of hard. Under Biden, we did a lot of mandamus. It means like delay of processing by the USCIS, but the government's fighting back. So that's even challenging too, because under Biden, when you file mandamus lawsuit against the USCIS, especially, were highly successful during Biden, then they settle. It means that they approve the case. Only one case was scheduled for interview. All others approve. Like, hey, it's time to review your case and approve your case. So mandamus worked great under Biden, but now it's very tough because the government is fighting to say that we're gonna dismiss your case for the mandamus lawsuit. Okay, so a little bit behind, so I'm gonna just catch up. We'll try to catch up as much as I can. Oh yes, as I thought. I just okay. Okay, Hamid, your asylum case was denied. I'm sorry. I mean, probably you have an asylum case with the USCIS. Now, USCIS, they don't deny the case. They don't approve affirmative asylum case. Then they refer you to immigration court. So if you need an attorney for your potential defensive asylum case with the immigration court, call us. Once again, I'm not able to tell you the phone number according to TikTok regulation, but go to my profile, Dr. Jae Francis Immigration. You can find various ways to contact us and then for free case evaluation. Okay. So Nathan came back. You said, how long does it take to get a work permit? If I filed yesterday from Arizona. So once again, this is a popular the perception and the questions. Does it really matter where you live in terms of when you get work permit and approval? Answer is not really, uh, because this is why your work permit, right, will be reviewed by National Benefit Center. All cases goes to National Benefit Center, adjustment of the status, especially marriage green card cases. Whether you're in Arizona, Illinois, Wisconsin, it'll go to National Benefit Center. And then once the biometrics done, fingerprinting's done, then they're gonna issue work permit regardless of where you live. So so far, right, we submit everything between 30 and 60 days, you get work permits. And also, I say that as long as they don't schedule interview, it doesn't really matter where you live because National Benefit Center will review and then decide on your case, uh, regardless of your address. Now, I mentioned that our kitten Rosie came to us Christmas Eve, and then she wasn't really willing to join us, but I think that I can do this. Rosie, yes, show us. So she's a little bit in the corner. I'm just bribing her. So she's a Scottish fold, 3 month old, and she's lovely. So she just joined us. Okay. Now probably I need to give her more treat because that's how she stays there, but not long. Okay. Pablo Vargas asked the question here. Okay. So this is another frustrating aspect of sending medical exam via the request for evidence. You know that, right? COVID vaccine is not required anymore, right? So that's good. And then right now, you must include, she's looking for treats, so I'm gonna just comply, sorry. So she's like, she doesn't meow, but I know what she wants, so I'm gonna give it to her, okay? So so you need to include your medical exam with initial filing, otherwise it will be rejected. So, but Pablo's situation is a little bit different because back in last year, many of you filed your case without immigration medical, and the USCIS send you request for evidence, and then we have everything but your medical exam, and they send us as if they're gonna review your case fast. The problem is that number one, they don't give you any status update, right? So I'm sure that Pablo, you've been waiting 5 months, you have a work permit. So the next sort of status update would be for USCIS to schedule interview or approve your case, right? So that's either one. And then sometimes it takes longer. I don't think that it's related to sort of late medical exam or 693 filing, but if you do this, it takes longer to get your case approved. Last year, even though that wasn't required, we included medical exam with initial filing. That's why it went really fast, our cases. Okay. I'm just trying to get you. Okay. Okay, there's no name, but I apply in federal court. Am I safe from mass deportation? Is kind of a little bit incomplete question here. Okay, I have a lot of questions here today. Thank you so much for asking question here. Oh, okay. So then, you added more. So then I think that federal court, it means that you have a asylum case with a immigration court case. So you're calling it federal court, which is not inaccurate, right? It's correct. So you're saying that if I have a pending asylum application with the immigration court, like, am I safe from mass deportation? And answer is usually yes, right? So let's talk about what's happening with this humanitarian parole from Cuba, right, Nicaragua, Venezuela, and then Haiti. Right now, right, the government canceled TPS extension for Venezuelans, and then previously, right before that announcement, they say that unless you have a valid immigration relief pending, which is asylum, is one of them. Or and then it's kind of similar, like it can be a marriage, green card case, I-130, or you didn't file your asylum case within 1 year, then you're subject to mass deportation, humanitarian parole cases. Okay. Okay. I'm just scrolling. Okay. So Fatma Said asked consular process questions. I'm just so happy. So her case, right, after I-130, National Visa Center, which is the second step, approve. And then how long does it take for you to attend the interview? It's case by case. Like I would say between 3 and 6 months after National Visa Center approval. But if you're in Pakistan or Mexico, it takes longer. It takes longer. So it's really country specific. Okay. So Darius asked another consular process case. K1. So then you're talking about how long does 129F petition potentially with the California Service Center, how long does it take? I would say 3 months, 3 months for them to review and approve 129F, okay, with the California Service Center. Okay, so we have a big, difficult situation. Okay, it's kind of a little bit incomplete. Istai, false claim to U.S. citizenship, right? And then they're permanent resident 2 years now. So, like your question is that they're accused of falsely claim to be U.S. citizen, or they didn't disclose this information. It's kind of hard to tell. But false claim to U.S. citizen is rather challenging situation because once you claim to be U.S. citizen, especially in your, I'm sorry, I'm gonna feed her another trip, I-9 e-verify, then usually you don't have a case. So it's just very challenging situation. Okay. I'm just reviewing, scrolling. Okay. Okay. Ooh, I just missed this. Okay. So Omar, right, 2025, you're a U.S. citizen. You have a child abroad under 2 years. Okay. So how long does it take to bring your child? So, depends. The bringing child through immigrant visa, I'll say between like about 18 months, as long as your child is not in Pakistan, Mexico. Okay, so then silent tears. So you live in Europe, and then you're mixing up two important information. You start with a K1 visa process and saying that you're living in Europe, and you said your spouse is U.S. citizen. I'm sure that you're referring your that person as spouse, but you're not married, because as you know that once you get married, then K1 does not work, right? So one of the requirement is that you're free to get married. It means that if you get married to that K1 visa petitioner, then you're not eligible to continue K1. But probably maybe typo. So just clarify. Okay, so Badi from YouTube asked the question. So when the USCIS approve 765 work permit application, how soon can you get it? Usually I say 7 to 10 days later. So they're relatively fast. So congratulations. I'm just reviewing a lot of same questions here. Okay, so Jules, right? Yeah. So then Jules is a US citizen, and she filed I-130 petition, and it's been about 1 year. And her husband is in Brazil. So how long does she need to wait? Let me drink some water. So I-130, this is CR1 Spouse Visa case. Usually takes about 1 year minimum and up to 14, 16 months. So under Biden, we filed mandamus lawsuit as long as it was pending more than 1 year. But now it's difficult. So when I-130 is pending more than 1 year, nowadays is unfortunately you need to wait. You need to wait. There's not much you can do under Trump because the mandamus is very challenging now. But thank you for asking. Okay, so a lot of heart, no name. So 485 pending, and then work permit, advance parole expired. Is it okay to renew? Oh, of course, of course. So then this is kind of important information, right? So when you have a pending AOS case, right, the green card application, and then you submit the work permit renewal prior to expiration, that you get automatic 540-day extension in the form of the receipt notice. But if you file after expiration, then you don't get automatic extension. So it's going to take some time. I mean, you'll be working unlawfully until you get actual EAD. So. Okay, I'm reviewing this. So Nathan, so after I filed my marriage green card case, then so it's about the biometrics, the fingerprinting. They don't call you; they send you a notice, a biometrics notice. So usually, once you file your AOS, right, green card application, then you'll get text message. If you submitted G1145, right, you get text message. And after that, you get written notices. If you have a USCIS online, you can download it from your account. Then usually right after that, you're supposed to get biometric notice right away within 2 weeks of getting the receipt notices. So if you haven't received biometrics notices yet, you need to call the USCIS. Probably they send you and then you might have missed, but I'm not sure. Okay, so then CHIN, Chain, maybe Chain, that's your name. So your husband is U.S. citizen, and then you have a pending marriage green card case from California. So I talked about this, right? As long as they don't schedule an interview, I think that for now we're talking 6 months for USCIS to approve your case, and then it'll be by National Benefits Center. So as long as they don't schedule an interview, it does not really matter where you live. Okay, so we have a lot of AOS, the questions then consular process today, but which is okay. Okay, so Chain, when did you submit your AOS package? Chain say that she hasn't received work permit. Like I said, our case is we submit and then 30 to 60 days later, our clients get a work permit. Okay, we have a lot of AOS cases in different, part of the town. Just give me 1 second here. I think that I missed that question here. Sorry. I wish that TikTok generates the question better than this. Okay, but sorry. Okay, so Calonsi Biao. So, he applied for 45 in Cincinnati, Ohio. How long does it take to get approval? So once again, doesn't really matter where you live, but if they schedule an interview, you're in Cincinnati, so I don't think that you need to wait too much to get, wait for interview there. Okay, so I caught up. So Istay asked the question, is consultation free with us? So when you call our main number, I don't answer, because if I answer all the calls, then nothing's happening here. I'm the boss. I have more than 10 team members, about approaching 15 team members, including attorneys, other attorneys, and all this. So when you call us, you'll talk to our intake managers or specialists. they will offer free case evaluation, including pricing, how much we charge. But if you like to talk to me, then there will be additional step. It can be free consultation, or it can be paid. But our intake specialist managers will tell you, whether how much it's going to cost for you to talk to me. Okay, so Mani asks, how long does it take for, how long does marriage green card case takes right now? I would say 6 months. I just uploaded YouTube long form video, and then one of the topic is that still is a 6 month, so it's good time. So I will tell you this, right? I've been talking about this all the time. If you have a case, good case, you need to file right now, because as I mentioned many times, Trump's administration is trying to or working on mass deportation. And then having a legal process in your pocket will help you from deportation as well. So it's a good time. Okay. So Bay, and then you and your spouse went for interview in November and still pending. So then when you go for interview, then officer will tell you that you need to wait 120 days, and then you can start contacting USCIS. You're not there yet. I mean, but you're approaching soon. So I tell our clients and then you all the time, once interview schedule, it is almost impossible to predict how long it'll take. And then it's not happening now, but under Trump's first term, we have some situations that even N400 naturalization, our clients went for interview test, they passed the test, interview went well, and that they waited quite some time for oath ceremony to be scheduled, up to 1 year, couple of cases. So hope that it doesn't happen. Fran, Aparicio asks how long, like a K1, what's the processing time for K1 in 2025? I say from the beginning to the end, 6 months. Still good time, good time. So if you need attorney, just let us know. Okay. Just catching up. Okay, so then Kelly, you apply for U visa. I think that you're talking about U visa bona fide determination. We handle humanitarian visa cases like U visa. Now, U visa has 2 stages. The first one is called bona fide determination. Usually takes about 5 years. And then when they approve your bona fide determination, then you'll get work permit. So it takes about 5 years now. But once again, it doesn't really matter where you live. You're from California, but doesn't mean that it'll take longer, because it's a nationwide process. Okay. Sharon, how long does it take for adjustment of the status from U.S. citizen son? So I'm sure that your son is over 21, and then Sharon, you enter with a visa. Good for you. No criminal records and all this. If you need an attorney, contact us. But this type of cases, I would say between 6 months and then 12 months. Okay. Under Biden last year, like we have some cases approved in 3 months, but they're gone. So I would say between 6 and 12 months. Okay. So thank you so much for joining today's live. Those of you who joined from TikTok, you'll see the Rosie sleeping. She got bored. But hope that today's session wasn't that boring. Hope that you got something that out of this meeting. So I host live stream every Thursday, 5 p.m. Central Time. You can find me on TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, and then Facebook. Mostly Instagram too, but TikTok and YouTube. And then next week, I'm gonna talk about Trump immigration. We have some updates. I chose K1, but we have some updates about the Trump immigration. So come back if you have any questions. And then those of you who are still waiting for approval, hope that when you join this live stream next week, then you say my case was approved. I would be so happy to hear that. But until then, peace be with you, peace be with you, and peace be with you. Thank you so much for joining. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.